Hello, BBN. Lowe and Oweh listed among the best players in college basketball heading into 2025 to 26. Are you betting these guys will make a big difference on this team? Let's get to the news. With the 2025 to 26 season approaching, all eyes are on Rupp Arena, where Mark Pope, the coach who has demonstrated an almost artisanal skill in finding talent, is about to lead a group that promises to be one of the most exciting in the program's recent history. Among the stars of this squad, two names stand out in particular: Oweh and Lowe, players who not only have the potential to be the best in the country, but also to transform Kentucky into a virtually unbeatable team. Oweh, a veteran of the team and already recognized as a devastating defensive force, was described by Pope as someone ready to achieve the status of the best defensive player in the country. It's no exaggeration. The forward returns to the All-SEC as one of the team's pillars, being named the conference's preseason player of the year. His presence on the court is overwhelming. An athlete capable of taking on the toughest defensive tasks against the opposing team's best scorers, while setting the pace on offense with his quick transition ability. Isaac Trotter of CBS Sports compared Oweh to a freight train in decline, highlighting his 47 dunks last season and his unique ability to score points at high speed. Few forwards in the country can combine such physical strength with such refined agility and competitive instincts. The responsibility of leading the team falls naturally on his shoulders, and he seems more prepared than ever to embrace it. Meanwhile, Lowe, a transfer from Pittsburgh, represents the wild card that can catapult Kentucky to the absolute top of college basketball. As the starting point guard, Lowe arrives with the mission of being the team's maestro, distributing the ball with surgical precision and creating opportunities where none seem to exist. Mark Pope, known for his meticulous work with point guards, has already publicly expressed his confidence in his new addition. He's extremely fast, gets where he wants on the court, and is a leader, a vocal leader, Pope said, highlighting Lowe's versatility. He also revealed an impressive statistic. Lowe led the Wildcats in three-point shooting during the summer tournament, with a remarkable efficiency of nearly 42%. That number alone would be enough to spark excitement, but what's truly intriguing is the potential for growth under Pope's tutelage. If the coach has managed to extract memorable offensive seasons from players like Oweh and Lamont Butler, why not imagine that Lowe could be the next beneficiary? His ability to bend defenses with quick cuts and precise passes makes him a dangerous weapon, especially in a system that prioritizes movement and space creation. The combination of Oweh and Lowe forms a dynamic core that promises to dominate both defensively and offensively. While Oweh assumes the role of defensive intimidator and relentless finisher, Lowe positions himself as the team's strategic brain, capable of dismantling opposing schemes with his vision. Both have been ranked among the best college players in the country, with Oweh ranking second among small forwards and Lowe among the top 5 initiating point guards. These rankings reflect not only their individual talent, but also the impact they can make collectively. When you combine these pieces into a team that already starts the season ranked in the top 10 nationally, it's hard not to envision Kentucky as a serious title contender. Of course, there are challenges to overcome. The temporary absence of Jaden Quaintance, a likely lottery pick in the NBA draft, due to his recovery from a torn ACL, is a concern. However, even without their star center for the first few games, the roster still possesses enough depth and quality to compete at a high level. The key lies in how Pope manages the transition until Quaintance returns, maintaining the group's cohesion and confidence. What makes all this even more exciting is Mark Pope's mindset. He doesn't just coach players, he transforms them. His ability to bring out the best in each athlete's potential is evident in the trajectories of Oweh and Butler, and now it seems to be Lowe's turn. Let's see how this team turns out. John Wall was never just a basketball player. For many, he was a living inspiration, a force of nature who combined speed, passion, and resilience in doses that seemed impossible to replicate. Now, at 34, the man who once dominated the court with his electric energy has hung up his sneakers to embrace a new chapter as an analyst for Amazon Prime for the 2025-26 NBA season. The transition marks the end of one era, but also the beginning of another, where Wall will continue to shape the game he loved so much, now through the lens of someone who lived it intensely. John Wall's retirement did not go unnoticed in the basketball world. On the contrary, it was celebrated by a legion of fans, teammates, and even opponents who recognized the impact he had on the sport. Wall was more than just a star. He was a cultural icon whose influence transcended generations. During the 2010s, he became one of the most recognizable faces in basketball, inspiring kids to run through parks and schools, imitating his reverse layups, crossover dunks, and that famous cuff that became his trademark. He was the prototype of the modern point guard, quick, creative, relentless, and with a natural instinct for leadership. And for many, he was the reason Kentucky remained a desired destination for the country's best talent. Wall made his mark at Kentucky even before reaching the NBA. In his only season with the Wildcats, 2009 to 2010, he already demonstrated that singular combination of skill and magnetic personality that would attract millions of fans throughout his professional career. Under the tutelage of John Calipari, he helped establish Kentucky as a renewed powerhouse in the college scene, paving the way for future stars like DeMarcus Cousins, Julius Randle, Karl Anthony Towns, and so many others who followed in his footsteps. It's no exaggeration to say that Wall pioneered this new era of excellence in Lexington. Proof of this is in the words of some of his teammates and successors. DeMarcus Cousins, Wall's teammate at Kentucky and later with the Sacramento Kings, recently revealed how crucial Wall was to his development as a player and a person. "I really didn't know how to be a college athlete," Cousins said. "Who did I learn from? I learned from my roommate, John Wall." This confession reflects something greater than mere admiration. It highlights the mentoring role Wall assumed from an early age, even as he was still discovering his own path. He wasn't just a leader on the court. He was a role model off it, someone who shared lessons about preparation, discipline, and a winning mentality without ever having to say a word. Julius Randle, another Kentucky icon, was blunt in his tribute. "The reason I wanted to go to UK, a hell of a career killer." This quote sums up Wall's aura. He was a catalyst, someone who lifted everyone around him. For Randle, as for many others, donning the blue and white meant following in Wall's swift footsteps, striving to reach the level of greatness he had established. Karl Anthony Towns, who succeeded Wall as one of Kentucky's biggest stars, also expressed his gratitude. "One of the best in the world. Enjoy your retirement, brother." Towns' message reflects the reverence Wall commanded, not only as a player, but as a human being. He was the kind of athlete who made others want to be better, on and off the court. And then there's Archie Goodwin, one of the lesser-known former Wildcats, but whose words carry the weight of someone who saw Wall's impact firsthand. A great career and an incredible inspiration to many of us here. This statement perfectly encapsulates Wall's legacy. He was not only a brilliant player, but also a beacon for those who dreamed of following in his footsteps. Now, as Wall trades the court for the studio, he carries with him a wealth of achievements and stories. His NBA career was marked by extraordinary moments, such as his 5 All-Star selections, his undisputed leadership of the Washington Wizards for years, and that famous dunk against the Boston Celtics in 2017, which echoed as a symbol of his explosiveness. But it was also punctuated by challenges, such as injuries that frequently halted his progress and tested his resilience. Even so, Wall always found ways to reinvent himself, keep fighting, and remain relevant. Wall has always been a natural communicator, someone with a gift for connecting people and ideas. As an analyst, he will certainly bring a unique perspective, fueled by his experience as a player and his unparalleled understanding of the game. And the football people? Among the various moves that marked the Wildcats' offseason, one in particular has caught the attention of the coaching staff and fans. The arrival of Mequis Humphrey Grace, a defensive end transferred from South Dakota. With high expectations and praise coming directly from defensive coordinator Brad White, Humphrey Grace is emerging not only as an important cog in Kentucky's defensive machine, but as a player with the potential to become a standout in the Mark Stoops era. The search for reinforcements during the transfer window was an intense marathon for Kentucky, with a special focus on rebuilding the offense. However, the defense also needed strategic adjustments, especially on the front line, where strength and consistency are crucial. The decision to bring in Humphrey Grace, who comes from the FCS, a division known for uncovering underrated talent, demonstrates Kentucky's ability to look beyond superficial statistics and invest in players with latent potential. And by all indications, this gamble could bear significant fruit this season. Humphrey Grace, a young athlete from Cincinnati, Ohio, arrives in Lexington with an impressive resume, despite having spent much of his career out of the spotlight. His performance at South Dakota was nothing short of remarkable. After a year of inactivity in 2022, he exploded in 2023, posting numbers that caught the attention of analysts and recruiters. With 34 tackles, 7.5 tackle for loss, 5.5 sacks, and 6 interceptions, he proved himself a versatile player, capable of impacting both the ground and the passing game. His performance culminated in him being named Missouri Valley Football Conference Defensive Player of the Year and a spot on the first-team All-American team, titles that solidify his status as one of the FCS's top prospects in recent years. But what's truly intriguing about Humphrey Grace is his ability to evolve. In 2024, he further elevated his production level, recording 17 tackles for loss and 9.5 sacks, solidifying himself as one of the best pass rushers in his conference. These numbers reflect not only his physical talent, but also his tactical intelligence and ability to read the game. He is a player who combines brute strength with refined technique, something Brad White highlighted when comparing him to Josh Paschal, one of Kentucky's defensive greats in recent years. The comparison, while cautious, is a clear sign that Humphrey Grace has what it takes to become a benchmark at the position. Brad White, commenting on Humphrey Grace, highlighted his consistency and dedication during spring practice and fall camp. According to the coordinator, he is a quiet player off the field, but on the field, he transforms into an unstoppable force. His ability to use his hands effectively and his impressive physical strength are attributes that can make him a nightmare for opposing offensive tackles. Although still early in his FBS career, Humphrey Grace already demonstrates maturity beyond his years and experience. A detailed analysis of his game, film reveals a player who has mastered the art of one-on-one play. He sets clear boundaries as a run defender, utilizing his strength to contain opposing rushing attacks. As a pass rusher, Humphrey Grace impresses with his long-arm technique and ability to tackle on the move, traits that allow him to overcome blocks effectively. While he still has room to improve his explosiveness and bend, he makes up for these areas with a solid technical approach and an aggressive mindset. I'm excited to see how this key player will shine in Cats football. Let me know what you think.